What's up y'all, P2 Powers back at you with another video. How is everyone doing today? In this video we're going to do an extension of my already existing essay series. Today I'll be covering the island village of Ashdale. Up to this point I've only done character essays, so let me know if y'all find these city essays interesting as well. Ashdale isn't said to be a city per se, but I'll still label this video as a city essay just for the sake of organization. Before we get started, just a reminder to those who haven't already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you don't miss a single upload. With that out of the way, on to today's essay. The island of Ashdale is located on the southern sea, south of the Feldip Hills and west of Ape Atoll. It can be accessed by talking to Gudrick in the southwest part of Taverley. Any information on the founder or founders of this mostly peaceful land has yet to be disclosed as far as I can tell as of the making of this video. However, whoever the first settlers were, they appeared to be followers of the god Saradomin, as there is a Saradominist church in the village as well as what appears to be a statue of Saint Elspeth, a well-known singer, musician, and follower of Saradomin. One interesting feature about the church is that unlike most churches the players can access, this one has no altar, therefore no way to recharge prayer points. Ashdale is seen as an escape or even a retirement destination for some folks, as people from all across Gielinor go there to have a more peaceful life. Reason being is that nothing of interest or excitement has ever really happened there, that is, until recently. The first real problematic event to strike Ashdale occurred during what used to be the game's tutorial for new players. I'll briefly go over the events, but if you want a more detailed showing of that tutorial, click the card up above to watch a walkthrough I recently did covering it. The player starts off in Ashdale and meets their mentor Gudrick for training. During that time, however, the player and Gudrick discovered that the evil Zamorakian necromancer Morwenna the Cruel had returned from the dead and was attacking Ashdale. The player has to overcome zombies in both human and cow form before ultimately defeating Morwenna in the church. To my knowledge, the person behind Morwenna's resurrection has yet to be addressed, and since the tutorial is now obsolete, I doubt we will ever get an answer to that question. After the battle, the player is praised as a hero before setting off to begin their adventure on the mainland. After Morwenna's attack, things went back to normal for a while. That is, until it is brought to the player's attention by Gudrick that the ships that ferry supplies to Ashdale had returned with their cargo still aboard, also reporting that the island had apparently been deserted. Gudrick then asks for the player's help as he is too old to scope things out for himself. This begins the Shadow over Ashdale quest. During the quest, the player learns from a villager named Lucy that the town was attacked by horrible creatures. The townspeople were taken away by the mysterious monsters, however, Lucy avoided them by hiding in her attic. Upon Lucy's suggestion, the player uses the sewers to traverse to the other side of the island as to avoid any of the creatures that are still above ground. This backfires, however, as they were in the sewers as well. The player discovers the creatures to be Kracians, and I'm sorry if I botched that pronunciation by the way. The Kracian scouts the player runs into in the sewers are vanquished easily enough, even for low-level players, as the quest scales with their level. The player emerges from a storm drain in the Ashdale farm with no farm animals to be seen. Entering a house south of the farm, the player finds a journal page on a table explaining that the house was built in the 4th Age by an architect by the name of Ogden Plainview. It also states that he was considering making a hidden entrance to the caves on the island inside his house. Using this new information, the player can inspect the bust of his head, transforming the center of the room into a staircase leading to the caves. After the player descends the stairs, they come across another Kracian scout and a dead smuggler. After disposing of the scout, the player finds a journal on the smuggler explaining how his band of smugglers had stirred up a Kracian nest, which led to the crew's demise. A little further down the caves, the player comes across pods that appear to have the villagers trapped inside. Going through a few more puzzles and killing a few more Kracians, the player comes across and climbs aboard a ship where 4 tentacles appear. After quote-unquote killing the tentacles, a giant kraken-looking Kracian known as Agaroth appears. After defeating the beast, the townspeople are freed and will praise the player for being their savior once again. Afterwards, Agaroth can be fought weekly for bonus XP in any skill a player chooses. While exploring Ashdale, you can interact with a few different personalities. Diggory, Popplewell, and Ned Swarbrick can be found by a fire. Diggory is a very happy sort, and Ned is quite the opposite, scolding the player for not knowing who he is since his family has been on the island since the beginning, according to him. Diggory is dragged away during the Shadow over Ashdale quest and remains missing afterwards, making the village community fear the worst. It should have been Ned. Magda is a local mystic and seer the player can talk to, but she doesn't give a whole lot of useful information besides the age of the village. She implies the tutorial is set in the 6th Age, however, this can be considered inaccurate since it should be the start of the player's journey, and of course the player begins that journey in the 5th Age. Finally, the player can talk to a girl named Sarah who seems to know the player, although that relationship is never really explained. And that should be everything that there is to know about Ashdale and its history, at least all that is currently in game. I really like Ashdale and I hope we can get some more lore surrounding it sometime in the future, but for some reason I doubt we will. Anyway folks, that was the first RuneScape city essay. Let me know what y'all thought of the episode down in the comments below. Future cities will be more in-depth. I just wanted to start with the one with possibly the least amount of story to it. That way we can work our way up to the more important cities, similar to how I've been doing the character essays. I've been P2 Powers. I hope everyone has a great day. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. I'll see y'all later.